I used to pray for times like this to rhyme like this. So I had to grind like that to shine like this. Chicago Bulls get the 4th pick in the NBA draft? Yes! Yes! Now, I'm going to put this, look, in the last 20 years, 2005, we had the 3rd pick, okay? 2006, we had the 2nd pick, and we got Tyrus Thomas. That didn't work out, okay? Then we had 13-9. So let's just go back the last few years, okay? The last few years, we haven't had the 4th overall pick since 2020, where we drafted Patrick fucking Williams. This is a great time for Chicago fans, okay? But we gotta pick. Can we not make a bonehead pick, please? Please.
Off for the Wizards and Jazz that get top amazing picks, but the Pacers screwed so bad could set them back years. But no one to blame but themselves. They took a big gamble and it failed. The GM felt he had to make an apology post to the fans. What? But that means the Clippers have a mega talent on the way. But so many crazy things happen.
Where the Pacers go? The Pacers, I don't even see the Pacers on this damn list. Where'd they go? Indiana keeps pick if 1 through F.
The Clippers have a mega talent on the way, but so many crazy things happen in this lottery. Like Anthony Davis, a magic trick. The 2019 Pelicans trade away AD, get number 1. 2025 Mavs trade away AD, get number 1. Now the Wizards get Davis and number 1. Oh, that's a coincidence? That's what they want you to think. But let's go pick by pick to talk winners, losers, and teams whose
That is a crazy coincidence.
But now
but I don't think there's anything that really bad. Like, what would be the reason for them to do this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Anthony Davis, like, what? Always hurt? Like, what the fuck? What is this doing? You know? It's not like anything has came from any 3 of these trades, like, you know?
Get Davis and number 1. Oh, that's a coincidence? That's what they want you to think. Well, let's go pick by pick to talk winners, losers, and teams whose offseason just got interesting. So if you don't know, this is the deepest draft class the NBA has had since the LeBron, Wade, Melo, Bosch 03 class that every other draft gets compared to. No, there's no LeBron at the top, but there are 4 legit number 1 guys. AJ DeBonsa, Darren Peterson, Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson. Anyone could anchor your franchise.
Any one of them. And I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I don't know why if he drops so low, but Darius Acuff, he was definitely my favorite player in the tournament. I love how he played. He played like a D Rose with a better shot. I mean, he can't really like jam it like D Rose was, but the way he plays so aggressive, he can pass. And I wouldn't even say D Rose. He got like similarities to like Trae Young. You know what I'm saying? He got some Damian Lillard in there. You know what I'm saying?
But the talent keeps coming, which means the Pacers messed up. Can you believe this is what they traded for Ivica Zubac? Pacers got Zoo and Kobe Brown. Clips got the number 5 pick,
crazy,
a 2029 first unprotected, 2028 second, and Benedict Mathurin.
That's crazy.
I like Zoo, but my goodness, what a mistake. Bro. Let's start though with the bottom and teams that failed to jump up. Like the Warriors had a 9% chance to go top 4, but stayed at 11. In fact, a report just before the lottery said if they got lucky, Golden State was going to move that pick for a player like Giannis. Now that's off the table. People were also terrified that the Thunder would move top 4 with just a 7% chance to get lucky.
But they still got a lottery pick.
They stay at 12. Still, adding a lottery pick to this deep team, terrifying. Are you watching what they are doing to the Lakers right now? OKC brings randos off the bench who play like all-stars. Could get another one, but to round out that bottom,
they remind me. I ain't gonna lie, bro. They run might be crazy because they remind me. Y'all remember when the Warriors was first starting to go crazy and they had that strength in numbers mantra because they was playing. Steve Kerr was playing his bench and they had Barbosa off the bench and Harrison Barnes off the bench and Andre Iguodala off the bench and. They had some bigs. David Lee, I think he was coming off the bench, if I'm not mistaken at that time. Like, that was the time where strength in numbers was crazy. Like, everybody came on the floor to just hooping, playing a perfect system. You know what I'm saying? The Thunder got that same vibe, but they defense is the They don't rely as much on shooting, which is, I feel like, it's more sustainable for championships than it is. Even though Steph is the best in the world, I feel like relying on mid ranges and dunks is more sustainable than relying on threes from Steph and Clay. So I think they can do some Warriors type shit, bro. They can go get Giannis if they really want to. Let's not forget that. They got the assets off the bench. They got the 12th pick. Like, they could go get Giannis because the Bucks wouldn't mind having 10 and 12. I'm just saying.
And before we get into luck, the Hornets at 14, Heat 13, and Bucks at 10. Good picks, but not a sure thing. So the first big surprise was the Kings. They fall 2 spots from top 5 to 7. I feel so bad for Kings fans. On March 5th, just 38 days for the finish line, they were tied for the number 1 pick, feeling good. Then all of a sudden, for no reason, they start winning games. Boom, beat Chicago, then Indiana, the Jazz. All teams who are trying to tank. Why? Because Coach Doug Christie unleashed DeMar DeRozan at the exact wrong time. In that stretch, man dropping 30 points a game on 61% shooting. I mean, the Wizards out here letting Bam score 83, Jazz getting fined for sitting their best players, but Sacramento playing DeRozan 37 minutes a night like it's 2016. I hate to say it, what did you think was going to happen? This was Kings fans' worst nightmare, and it just came true. But the next big surprise was the Nets. Team falls out of the top 4 to number 6.
The Nets, I don't think they missed, honestly, because all the and obviously it's mock draft, so it's no guarantee this how it's gonna go. But all the mock drafts I seen had Darius Acuff going about 6. Him and Michael Porter Jr. is a problem. Because Darius Acuff is a great facilitator. Like, he knows how to get his teammates the ball. And he knows how to create his own shot. And he knows how to catch and shoot. And he knows how to run the offense in general. So if you give Michael Porter Jr., a young guy with young legs that can run it up and down and set offense up and get him easy shots, that's, nigga. I just watched the interview with Michael Porter Jr. That's exactly what he said he need. Like a point guard that can put the ball on the floor, get his own shot, but also like facilitate.
Which hurts even more considering what they paid to get there. Brooklyn wanted to control their rebuild so bad that they traded control of 4 first-round picks to get their 2025 and 26 selections back. But the result? They now move down a combined 5 spots in both drafts. Brutal. In fact, remember they drafted 5 players last year? Don't look like any of them's going to be a future star. But now let's dig into the Clips at 5. Just a few months ago, one of the most screwed teams in the NBA after 2 terrible mistakes.
That's crazy.
Trading for Paul George and James Harden.
So they got
Not only is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out here leading a potential dynasty thanks to that PG trade, but the Clips had like 0 picks going for it in an old roster. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they make big moves at the deadline. In the same week, they trade James Harden and Zubats for a rebuild haul. In total, they got Darius Garland, Benedict Mathurin, role players, the number 5 pick.
That's crazy.
Another 2029 first.
I ain't gonna lie, they did a little something with that right there, man. I'm not gonna lie. They did a little something with that. I'm not gonna lie, they cooked. They got Darius Garland. They got rid of James Harden. I feel like Darius Garland is an upgrade. I'm not gonna lie. James Harden is old. He's exposed. He's getting exposed in the playoffs right now. He's old. His prime is behind him. And he's a defensive liability more than anything. I feel like Darius Garland is the same player, a little bit better on defense, but he's a lot younger. So it's like,
protected in 2 seconds for Harden and Zoo. In fact, they had a deal on the table to trade away Kawhi to Golden State that fell through at the last minute. So we're all waiting on the aspiration punishment, but the Clips are a big winner, which means the loser is Indiana. A finals team 1 year ago. Then their best player, Tyrese Halliburton, tears his Achilles. So they go into full rebuild mode. I'm talking tank.
I know this ain't about the playoffs or nothing. I mean, this ain't about the draft lottery or nothing. But when I seen Tyrese get hurt and I seen how his foot popped like that, I said that's Achilles. As soon as he hit the floor and they replayed it, I said he just tore his Achilles, bro. I said, damn, they just ruined the class. Even though I'm an OKC fan. I'm a Bulls fan first, nigga. But I'm an OKC fan. Those are only two teams I'm a fan of in the game. Like a real fan of in the league. Only two teams. And I wanted OKC to win, but I ain't want it like that, bro. I wanted to see a bang out. I wanted to see an overtime win. Tyrese Halliburton hit a buzzer beater, Shea come back. If they was going to win. Even if OKC would have lost, I would have rather them lose and me see a great Game 7 finals for them. Because the way it was going, bro, like I was watching the playoffs last year, and I was like, wow, this feels like good basketball again. Like, this is a good playoff. And this, you know what I'm saying? This is a very good playoff series. Very good playoff run for the whole league.
Anyone not named Washington. 19 wins is hard to do and painful. Now they have 0 picks to show for it. The deal they made was a top 4 protected pick for Zoo, which becomes a 2031 pick if not conveyed. Well, it did convey, and now there is a ton of pressure on Zoo to play like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Good luck, buddy. Now I want to get into like a mock draft for some of these teams, but the luckiest team in the league was the Bulls.
Yes,
they
sir.
jumped 5 spots into that top 4 after half a season of tanking. That is amazing. You feel good for their fans. So they go from the 9th pick to 4 for most likely Caleb Wilson,
yes,
a 6'10
sir.
big from North Carolina. Kid is the most athletic player in the class, will fit great next to Josh Giddey and Mattis Buzelis.
Sure.
In fact, he's exactly what they need in their front court. His one weakness is shooting jumpers, but maybe that comes along.
Yeah, honestly, that's the only thing I'm scared of. Him not being able to shoot jumpers. But maybe he gets better at that. I don't know. We've seen players get better at shooting, but we've also seen players not do a damn thing. So I don't know.
Wilson is the last player here that people think have superstar upside as a prospect.
For sure.
At number 3, the Grizzlies also get lucky by moving up 3 spots from 6 to 3. Remember, they went into rebuild mode by trading 2 of their 3 cornerstone guys, Desmond Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, they can add Cam Boozer, a 6'9 forward from Duke.
See, I would, if I had to pick, in a perfect world, if I had to pick between Caleb Wilson and Cam Boozer, I'm going to pick Cam Boozer. Remember, Carlos Boozer, his dad used to play for the Bulls. You know what I'm saying? He was a very intricate part, even though he was past his prime. This was after Carlos Boozer. So I won't gonna put too much on him. He was like one of them players who had me screaming at the TV as a kid. But Cam Boozer, I think, could be better than his dad. I think he will be better than his dad. And he's a more all-around player over Caleb Wilson. But I wouldn't be mad at Caleb Wilson. You know, we had Caleb Williams, and the last Caleb we got, Caleb Williams over here on the Bears, that nigga balling out falling. You there? And then you got Caleb Williams, Caleb.
Who is College Player of the Year because man is the most polished NBA-ready player in this class. He not only shot 40% from 3 on high volume, but he's got the skill to run the offense as a point forward. Now, some people do doubt his star upside because he plays below the rim, but he's the son of 2-time All-Star Carlos Boozer, and NBA kids have a great track record in the league recently. Now, their biggest concern trading Ja Morant. How are they going to deal Ja to really turn the page and still get decent value for him in a trade? But maybe now they take less value for Ja because they've got in place a great new young core. And at 2, the Jazz move up 2 spots in the final year of their rebuild. They've got vets like Triple J and Larry Markkinen to add with Darren Peterson.
I don't know about Darren Peterson, though. Because think about it. Okay, yeah, I understand this is the mock draft, but you got to look at it from, if I'm a GM, I got to look at it from my, you know what I'm saying? If I go with Darren Peterson, that means I'm kind of saying fuck you to Keontae George. But Keontae George has been kind of breaking out over the past, you know what I'm saying, half of the season. So it's like, I don't know. What do I get? Do the Jazz pair marketing with Caleb Wilson? You know what I mean? I don't know. The Grizzlies about to trade Ja Morant. So do they go get another superstar guard like Darren Peterson? I don't know. But I think a lot of times, some teams, it's usually either two ways. Some teams either just they pick the best available player. I don't give a damn what your position is, nigga. If I think you better than him, I'm picking you. And some teams pick what they really need. So we gonna see
guard
how it
from
works.
Kansas. Now Darren, dominant offensively, but the most controversial player in the class. He has both character and medical concerns. Now both of those may end up being nothing. Right. But remember, he was in and out of the lineup at Kansas, which bothered a lot of people, and had full body cramps that sent him to the hospital multiple times.
That's crazy.
Darren now says, the reason was I was taking too much creatine. Yeah, no big deal, but we'll see. So, will the Jazz then send a boatload of assets to DC to move up to number 1?
Right.
Because that pick is AJ DeBansa, who went to BYU in their backyard. Jazz owner Ryan Smith went to BYU and loves the school. It would be like getting the hometown superstar.
Yeah.
If not, the Wizards take AJ, a 6'9" forward from BYU. Kid led college in scoring and has emerged as the number 1 pick in a deep class. AJ's got a complete skill set, scoring at the rim, cooks the mid-range with elite defense. A big plus will be playing alongside vets to take the pressure off this first year, right?
Now, I think whoever goes to the Wizards, obviously they're not going to draft a point guard or probably a guard at all. They're going to draft a wing. If it's not AJ DeBansa, it'll be Cam Boozer or Caleb Wilson before it'll be Darren Peterson. But if they draft a wing, which I'm pretty sure they will, having Trae Young to facilitate and organize your offense is going to be a cheat.
It's like the opposite of Cooper Flag. Remember, DC traded for Trae Young and Anthony Davis to add with young players Alex Sarr, Keyshawn George, Trey Johnson, and Bilal Coulibaly. So this is the final mock draft. ESPN's got
This is the final mock draft that everybody kind of going with. Oh, so they got this. They got the Darius A Cup going 7. They got him going 7. So this is a stat class, but you really want to pay attention to that top 5. That top 5 is really what I think is going to like make I don't know how it's going to work though. I don't know how it'll work because the Wizards can't draft Darren Peterson. But I don't think they're going to pass on AJ DeBansa unless like he said, the Jazz sent some assets to Washington and trade for 2. I think the Wizards would be cool with going with the second pick. They'll probably end up taking Cam Boozer though, and I don't think Cam Boozer wants to go to the Jazz. So I don't know. I mean, that's the tricky part because these teams, like, okay, they all need players, they all need some help, they all need like a rebuild, but it's like. Outside, okay, I would love if I was a incoming rookie, I would love to go to the Bulls. Great big market, very good history, and Chicago is a real big sports town, and we really a basketball city. You know what I'm saying? We a sports town in general, but we're a basketball city. So if I'm a rookie coming in, getting drafted, and I go to the Bulls. I might be able to do something with that. If I take over and go crazy and get the Bulls in the playoffs and competing and shit like that, and we start building towards something, you could put yourself in a billionaire category just off that. Same with the Wizards. You know what I'm saying? And the Wizards are the most ready-made team in the whole, other than fucking Thunder, obviously, but as far as like the top 5 picks, the Wizards are the most ready-made team. They got Anthony Davis and Trae Young. Now, Anthony Davis deal with injury, so they might end up trading his ass again, but they got Trae Young. So they add a guy like AJ DeBansa or Cam Boozer with fucking Trae Young. You got something for your fans to come see. But then you got Utah Jazz and Memphis. I don't want to. If I'm a rookie, I don't want to go to Memphis, bro. I would love to go to LA, the Clippers. I would love to go to the Nets. I would hate to go to the Kings. The Hawks would be cool. The Mavericks would be cool. I would hate the Bucks. And then everything else would be cool. I'll be cool with. I'll be cool with the Warriors, the Thunder, the Heat, or the Hornets. But I would not want to go to Milwaukee. I would not want to go to the Kings or the Grizzlies or the Jazz. Like, I would be dreading that shit. Like, can y'all move these teams to another city or something? Fuck.